Welcome to Hair by Sonia, where hair transformation begins. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, bold color, or a complete makeover, Sonia and her expert team have you covered. At Hair by Sonia, we believe every client deserves to feel confident and beautiful. That's why we use only the best products and techniques tailored just for you. From the moment you walk in, you'll experience personalized care and a relaxing atmosphere designed to pamper you. Our clients love their results. Just look at these amazing transformations. Join our family of satisfied clients and discover why Hair by Sonia is the go-to salon for your hair needs. Ready for a change? Book your appointment today and let us bring out the best in your hair. Hair by Sonia. Love your hair. Love yourself. She says sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia, and welcome back to She Says Sports. It is that time. It's NFL season, and I'm back with my usual suspects. Please welcome back former NFL players Cedric Donaldson and Jameion Spencer. Hey guys, how are you?
Well, hello, long time no see.
Yeah,
I know, bud.
Good to be back.
Absolutely.
Cedric, what you got on? Are you
I'm just rocking this right here. I knew Jamie couldn't go back. That the shirts from the 80s already, they disintegrated. You know what I mean? The championship shirt from the 80s, they disintegrated.
Yeah. Has it been that long, Jamie?
Yeah, it's been a while. But that's okay though. We don't need championships to validate us. We are the gold standard. That's it. I mean, we stay relevant. So,
Hey, you got to kick them while they down. Any kind of way you can get them, man. You got to get them.
That's all I said. I'm down this week, man. So I need a validation game after Northern Illinois. After this husky then came up and nipped me a little bit. That hurt all my little feelings.
You're so silly. As you know, it's NFL season. We have just finished week 1, but it's been some stuff going on off the gridiron, off the field, that we're going to talk about as well. And one of the things we're going to talk about, on last Sunday, star wide receiver Tyreek Hill was headed to the stadium to play against the Carolina Panthers. And he was pulled over by a cop. He apparently was speeding, reckless driving, and not wearing his seatbelt. That's quite a bit. But the body cam footage shows Tyreek getting a ticket. He was seemed a little disrespectful. Hurry up, give me the ticket, so I can go, type of thing. And I guess the officer, I think his name is Danny Torres, he felt a little disrespected. Asked him to get out the car, and before he can even get out the car, he pulled him out, ripped him out of his seat and onto the ground. And as you know, Tyreek just had knee surgery and everything. So my question is, well, before I say that, a couple of teammates pulled up too and saw what was going on, and they kind of, got in their face. Do you feel like the cop felt disrespected because he told him to hurry up? And just kind of like, what are your thoughts on that, Jamie?
Yeah. So, and I tell you, this is, one of those deeply, deeply personal issues that we have, especially in this country with policing Black and brown folks in this country. And, again, the initial assessment, yes, he used excessive force. It didn't have to get to that point. But I think, if you've lived for any period of time in this country, the biggest thing we know is that, sometimes simple allegations, simple traffic stops can become life or death. And And I think once Tyreek had a chance to reflect on it, I think I felt the exact same way. And I saw his comments after the press conference, as a father, as a brother, as a son, as a husband, it's our responsibility to be able to do what we need to do to get back home, and no matter what, you've got to have a level set, when you get into those situations and be able to think through the chaos. And we, and I just think about, my boys in that situation. I'm gonna tell them, man, do whatever you need to do to get back home. Listen, cooperate. You're wrong, you're wrong. Take it. Hey, be respectful and be able to move on. Because again, we understand that as Black men, sometimes those simple traffic stops can become, life or death. And we owe it to our folks that are dependent on us, that love us, to do what we need to do to get back home. And I hate that it happened. We understand a lot of things that do happen. It doesn't make it right. But at the same time, he got to have a responsibility too, and he has to be able to think, and the other side of it, I thought about too. It goes back to some of those old school coaches, and I honestly began to believe that game day is a process, and I know we've turned this thing into a pageantry, and we want to be able to have the individuals show up at the stadiums and be on, see who's wearing what. It's become more of a show. But I do believe in pregame isolation, because there is a process you go to when you get ready to play ball, and a lot of times it is built on confrontation, ability to go to war, turn into that warrior. And any form of resistance, you are trained to tear it down. And I think police do those same things as well. When they get into those traffic stops, they have to do what they need to do to get home. So I think the cop did his job. I think the cop was absolutely, correct in his approach. Especially with what he was asking, he was reasonable. I don't think he was really ready to take it to that point, but knowing where we were, I think both sides were in that mode of, we are warriors, we are champions of what we believe in, and that's kind of what you find when those two things happen in that same arena at the same time. Again, an unfortunate situation, and I don't want to see anybody kind of go through that, but at the same time, I know from Tyreek's perspective, man, you gotta be able to bring it down and think as to how I get myself to the point and handle it in a different way.
I agree. And, I guess the cop kind of got a little violent with it. However, I think if he had just been respectful to the man, it would have been a totally different thing. Cedric, do you think if it was not Tyreek Hill, this would have been a different situation? Because one of the cops in the body cam said, "Do you know who this is?" And the guy cursed oh, so do you think it would have been a different situation if it was not Tyreek Hill? I'm talking about getting shot or something.
Yeah, guaranteed. It would have been worse. It wasn't the fact that it was Tyreek Hill. It was the fact that Tyreek Hill had money. And
a nice car.
Once you know that, somebody, he can fight you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He got enough resources to take that. like my boys used to say back in the day, he got, he can take that trial, Mm-hmm. But I see it like this, man. Tyreek was wrong. I mean, he was speeding and all that kind of stuff, right? But the police officer is supposed to be trained. Like, you can't let disrespect. Just think about it. If that police officer was a teacher, and teachers get disrespected all the time, but they can't let that disrespect make them get physical with a kid. You know what I mean? You still have to be in your right mind. If you're a hothead and somebody can somebody can say something to disrespect you, or people don't like getting tickets. So if you're giving somebody a ticket, and Jameion know this, on game day, you won't go mode from the time you wake up.
That's it. Yeah.
Like you just said, you in warrior mode from the time you wake up. Anybody can get it, and you trying to get to the stadium, which he was wrong, speeding or whatever he was doing. You know, he's giving you a ticket. I'm Tyreek Hill. I'm getting a ticket, you know, and that's feeling some type of way. These people coming to see me, and you know who I am. Tyreek, he knew that man knew who he was. And so that was wrong. You know, I hate when people do that. Oh man, you know me. You don't give me But the officer has to be, you know, you have to be better trained to not allow your emotions to get into it, because in no other form of life can you get emotional, make a decision, put your hands on somebody, and the consequences. Just imagine you go to work, your boss say, "Hey man, I thought I told you to do this." And you say, "Man, I'm getting to it. I'm having a bad day. I'm getting to it." And he come over there and put his hands on you. Yeah.
Well,
That's
I'm laughing.
crazy.
I didn't know my manager. That was pretty funny. No, it would not be funny because
Yeah.
it's.
So I think this is a perfect teaching situation for everybody on both sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I like how Tyreek handled it at the end, though. You know what I mean? I like how he, you know, is saying like, you know, who was that said, man, I want to be a police officer when I'm done. You know what I mean? You know, I like that. Now you can get together and bring it together and maybe calm some of this stuff down, man, in the future.
No, and I'm sorry. I'm before I cut you off. Sorry. And I think to add on to that as well, when you talk about, you know, those teaching moments and those teaching opportunities, you know, on the flip side of the coin, you know, and we got a lot of friends and family who are in law enforcement. You know, those guys, you know, when they wake up, they're in go mode, right? You know, I mean, that's who they have to be. You know, so the impact is the same when they run into some of those levels of existence. So, you know, it's an opportunity for us to be able to have that higher level of emotional intelligence training to understand that yes, you are in go mode, but hey, you've got to still think above and ahead of where you currently are, because again, you know, it's not about the situation you're in. It's all about how you react to it, right? And the reaction is what happens that ends up getting into some level of escalation. So, you know, it's a perfect opportunity for teaching for both sides.
Yeah.
So do you all think that the officers should be fired or just have a teachable moment, more training, or?
No, no, I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of the cancel culture. You know, I mean, you know, we're so quick to get into the cancel culture, and people don't understand that, you know, it's a such thing as what you do, and it's another thing as to who you are. You know, and you know, and if you really want, especially law enforcement, it's critical that we get back to those people who understand that you are taking people who have true empathy, true genuine intent, and being able to merge that into someone who can incorporate enforcement of the law for our protection, right? Because again, you know, if something were to happen in my house, you know, I don't want someone who can't get the job done to come in and regulate, right? But at the same time, you know, I think too, we have to take. It's not an easy job. It's not a preferred job. You know, I mean, for most people, I can't tell you that I'm gonna go out there and put my life on the line for people I don't know and I don't, you know, have any type of understanding for. So you know, you have that and understand that these are people too, right? They have good days, they have bad days, but again, their level of training and emotional intelligence has to be at a different level than we are at an everyday person that's walking around. So
yeah, I definitely don't think he should be fired, because this is you know, he's right here, right? The officer, you know, this has happened, you know, the dialogue is happening right now. You take him and you put him back in there with the rest of them, and he's the one that can, you know, be the, hey man, this is what I did, and you know, let's, you know, but if you get rid of him, that story is not to be told. And I can see if he kills somebody, shot, yeah, you don't want them, you know, on the force. But this right here ended well. It happened to the right person because he's remorseful now, and you know, so this situation is, like they say, nothing happens to you, everything happens for you. This is one of those deals that happens for you.
And actually he could have saved Tyreek's or someone else's life. He was driving speeding,
Right.
he was driving reckless, and he didn't have a seatbelt on. I understand y'all be in go mode and warrior mode on game day. However, leave on time, leave when you're supposed to, leave on time so you won't have to speed. And I understand stuff happens, but I think if he had respect for the man, not hurry up and give me the ticket, because I've now what's interesting, and I'm gonna move on. I've been around where I saw a white man getting a ticket. He's like, "Here, just give me the ticket. Yeah, whatever, give me the ticket." And it nobody got pulled out their car. Nobody, he was like, "All right, sir, just calm down." And it was just like, what? And I was just in total shock. And it's amazing the change, the difference. It's amazing. So I don't know. We'll definitely be following this story. I wish both of them well. I don't like how he pulled him out of the car, because seeing a black man on the ground is very triggering, because we've seen it so many times. And I'm now talking to you guys, I do understand, no, maybe he shouldn't be fired, but definitely more training. They come together and talk, and maybe, they can, come to a resolution. Do you think he'll have any charges? He'll still be charged with the speeding and all of that? You think?
Oh,
he
yeah,
should.
probably, he should. I mean, he was wrong. Yeah, he was wrong for that. And I'm sure the officer gonna find out some type of reprimand. But I think last thing for me, and Logan said gonna be able to appreciate this one, but knowing that Tyreek has been in the news lately for whatever reasons, the house fires and all this other stuff. Where was Dolphin Securities at? Because I mean, look, I got a high value asset on game day. I mean, and Sid and I both know this. I mean, typically you don't have those guys alone for very periods of time outside of that stadium and outside of that arena. So my whole thing is that, your NFL securities, your Miami Dolphin securities, those guys, typically you got somebody with them. So when things happen, so when we have that type of personality that's there, you got somebody that can help mediate the situation that, is law enforcement, yet has private interest into the team interest and ownership, but at the same time can help to escalate and make those ends merge too. So I'd have to ask that question, because I mean, again, I can't believe somebody like, Tyreek, not that he has to have a babysitter or anything, but understanding who he is, what he's at, where he's at.
Sometimes you have to. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary.
I'm gonna move on. I was going to say, I don't know if y'all ever watched a show with the Rock show called Ballers on HBO.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Denzel's John Washington's character a little bit, just a little bit. Wow. So we're gonna move on. Monday night, Aaron Jesus Eyes Rodgers made his return to the field and made his debut in regular season as a New York Jets, Cedric's old team. The Jets played against the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers beat the Jets 32-19. Rodgers was 13-21, had 167 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The 40-year-old former NFL MVP didn't finish the game, but also, and that was only because they wanted to give him rest, and it was 5 minutes left in the game. Cedric, what are your immediate takeaways from Rodgers' performance?
First game back, he looked good to me. It's Aaron Rodgers. I don't worry about him until the end of the season. That's when he's gonna kill you. You know what I mean? He's an assassin in the playoffs. So this is first game back. Really, the first game with this team. He didn't get to play last year. He's Aaron Rodgers. You don't worry about him. You get the rest of your team fixed, and he'll do what he needs to do.
So you kind of think that this first game was just kind of like knocking the rust off for him, because I mean he hasn't played.
Yeah, I mean every year the first game for him is knocking the rust off.
Really, a whole year though. I mean, this was a little different,
Yeah, I mean he's just one of them players, man, that's gonna just put good days on top of good days on top of good days on top, and then he might have a bad day, but at the end of the year, when you get in the playoffs, that's when Yeah, that's when he'll show up and do you. As a Cowboy fan, I know all too well about how he.
And a Bear fan.
Yeah.
I know. So I'm gonna call you Jason Jameion. Jameion.
Oh, hey,
Um,
hey.
how has Rodgers' teammates adjusted to his return in terms of gameplay and chemistry? Did you
Yeah.
see any chemistry? What did you see?
So I think that's exactly what I saw. I mean, I think we saw immortal Aaron Rodgers for the first time in his career. He looked like a guy who was coming off injury. He looked like a guy who was with a new team. Mechanically, I can tell you he realizes I think he's going to have to make some adjustments. That 40-year-old body just isn't the same, especially because he throws in such a unconventional manner. Feet aren't necessarily on the ground. They move in different ways. He throws from all different angles. And you can see he was kind of testing those things out. But I think, in terms of the dynamics of the team, you can tell that there is still some adjustments to happen. Communication, I didn't think was very fluid across. You could tell that, they weren't used to his cadence. So meaning that he hasn't taken a lot of snaps, and you can see that the timing was a little bit off. Even when he was trying to hit, his receivers, Garrett and those guys, man, they weren't quite in sync. We're used to seeing the ball come out of his hands so quickly before receivers get out of their break, but a lot of these guys were in their breaks. So it's like we were searching a lot of times, and I think it's going to get better. I mean, we know it's going to get better. I mean, again, he Aaron Rodgers, he's going to get better. It's going to get smoother, but he definitely looked like a dude who hadn't played football in 2 years.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And what that you both answered my next question. It was, what are the implications of this game for Rodgers' future performances? And like you say, he's Aaron Rodgers. Just needed to knock the rust off, and he will show up when he's supposed to show up. He always does. Mm-hmm. He always does. So it would be interesting to see how he does with the Jets. We're going to move on to Cedric's team, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak. We in the money Prescott. Dak and the Cowboys have agreed to a $240 million contract extension that will keep the 31-year-old Prescott in Dallas through the 2028 season. This deal makes Prescott the highest paid player in NFL history. Cedric, I'll start with you. What are the specific terms of Dak's new contract? Do you know any of the logistics behind that?
Not really, man. I mean, they're trying to lock him down. I know it's a 4-year deal. I don't know. The only thing I know is I'm a Cowboy fan. I think that killed all chances of the Cowboys doing anything for the next 4 years.
So let me ask you this, Cedric.
Yeah.
With Dak not winning the Super Bowl and not even taking you out to the Super Bowl, why would the front office and Jerry Jones more so? Why would they do this?
He's worth it, but just not on the field. You know what I mean? Dak is a nice looking guy. He's gonna sell jerseys. He's gonna, the endorsements. I mean, he's a total line guy for the boss. He's all that. But what he's not is a lead on the field. You need 3rd and 3, Dak could throw it in the ground and tell the coach, hey, I did my job. So I mean, for Jerry Jones, for what he wants to do, which is pack the stadium, be in the news, make money on endorsements, everything but winning the Super Bowl, Dak is perfect. So he'll make his money back. He's gonna be great for the organization as far as endorsements.
Okay. Jameion, what expectations has the team set for Prescott to meet to justify this record-breaking contract?
So yeah, they put it all on his back. They put the target on him at this point. Because again, you got to go win, and you got to go and you got to be the guy. And I'm not going to tell you got to be the $60 million man, but at the same time, you got to be the $60 million man, right? You got to show and prove how you're worth now the price of admission. The juice is worth the squeeze, right? And And again, hey, kudos to him. He's gone out. He's got his money, man. I salute him. We never thought we'd see this type of, transactions happening in the NFL. So I'm extremely excited about that portion of it because we know it's a lot of money to go around. But I'm like I said, he's going to have to show up. He's going to have to now step his game up even more. Statistically, Dak does it, right? But Dak does it early, and he does it, at the time when we don't need him, because we need Dak to be, hey, I need you to be in Justice League mode in the first half of the season. I need you to move into, okay, we're gonna be the Avengers for that back half, but then once we get to the playoff, I need you to be Superman, homie. I mean, I need you to show and prove and take this team and will them down, and I get it. You got all the tools around you. I mean, and
right.
the excuses about, hey, I did my job and I'm not there is not it anymore, right? You're gonna have
not
to,
with that type of money.
yeah. I mean, with the money and with the opportunity that you've got, because the one thing I will give the Cowboys organization, just like you can say Dak has done his job, the front office has done their job. They personnel that team up. On paper they are champions, but when it comes down to doing it, we can say what we want about coaching and everything else. It's going to come down to how those players in that locker room lead and set the expectation for winning in that city. And
all of that left when Bill Parcells left.
Yep.
When Bill Parcells left, he knew you couldn't make stars out of players before they won. You know what I mean? And he told, he wrote the letter to Tony Romo, hey, do not become a celebrity quarterback, because once you do, the good and the bad come with it. You get the money, but the expectations come. And if you haven't won none, it's going to be harder to win, because every mistake you make is, is gigantic at that point. But Jerry Jones believed in making people stars, because stars sell jerseys.
Yep.
Jerry don't have to win a Super Bowl.
He's won.
Yeah. Like, he's good. And I mean, he has Super Bowl titles from back in the days. He would like to, but Jerry's making money, man.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
So Sid, how does Prescott contract impact the market value for other top quarterbacks and players?
Oh, it's crazy, because imagine what they have to do with Patrick. He worth $1 billion right now, Patrick Mahomes. If Dak got what he got, Patrick Mahomes right now is worth a billion.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is worth, I know he just signed a deal a couple of years ago, but man, he's worth more than Dak, as just what he's already done on the field. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. So, Jameion, what are the potential long-term impacts of this contract on Dak Prescott's career and legacy?
Well, I think it's going to, I don't think the money defines the man. I mean, he's obviously gone out and, he's done, I think, the things that he needs to do to earn the money. Football is one of those sports that, in the end, we could care less about who's getting paid. We care about who's winning and how they're winning, right? We want to see the Warriors come out, because those are the things that we remember the most, right? We remember that, this guy took advantage of his spotlight and his shine at that moment in time, and this is the way he did it, right? Patty Mahomes and what he's doing right now with Kansas City and Andy, and it's phenomenal, right? We're really talking about this young kid, kind of going as in the conversation of the greatest of all time, and he's not even halfway through what I think he's going to play or how he's going to play, which is scary. But for a guy like Dak, I think it's going to contribute to the conversation about individual contributions to a team versus our overall culture. Just like we're seeing in college football right now, everybody's so focused on the money and the NILs and all that stuff that we're forgetting about culture still matters. And this is the thing in the NFL, culture still matters. What you do in the locker room, how you conduct it, who's going to show up when it's time to show up. It's all based on that. And, and if everything becomes a business decision, you ain't going to have many rings at the end of the day to compare to. You'll have a comfortable lifestyle, but at the end of the day, your career will be empty if you don't have that hardware.
I agree. That's good. Okay. Well, congratulations, Dak. I wonder how much is guaranteed. I was trying to find that, but
I thought it was a little over 200. It was guaranteed.
Yeah,
it was
it
majority.
Was almost. Yeah, it was most of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Most of it was guaranteed.
Ooh, his agent is the ball. Wow. Okay, moving on. So Super Bowl 59 will be February 9th in New Orleans, and we already know who will be the halftime performer. It will be Kendrick Lamar. I love Kendrick. It's been a lot of discussion about him being the halftime performer. A lot of people are angry because they feel like the New Orleans hip hop artists like Lil Wayne, Juvenile, Birdman should be. And we're gonna start with you because you're a Louisiana guy and you lived in New Orleans.
Louisiana.
And what are your thoughts on this? And did the Super Bowl? They were blaming Jay-Z, but actually the city, from my understanding, chooses who they want to perform. Is that correct? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's a committee that they have. I think he heads the committee, but it's still a committee decision that they make. Look, I don't think you could have gone wrong with Kendrick Lamar. I absolutely love Kendrick Lamar. Look, Jonah is a fanatic fan of Kendrick Lamar. No matter what he got coming on, he'll go with him. I think it'll be a phenomenal show and everything else. I mean, but yes, to the city of New Orleans, yes, we got Lil Wayne, we got a ton of artists out of the South. You could talk about, the TRU Click, Master P, all this stuff, Birdman, Young Bunny, we know that the beef between, Kendrick Lamar and Drake is tied directly to, Young Money and Lil Wayne. So, but it's going to be up to Kendrick to do what he needs to do artistically, right? To make that a good show, because no matter what, it's there. But I think it's unrealistic, honestly. If we talk about, every time we have a Super Bowl at on a local scene, being able to pull every famous artist from those local scenes, may or may not make a great show, right? Right. Some places are designed and set for it, like LA back with the West Coast, Dr. Dre, that was made for it. But some of the other ones,
that's where it's coming from, because so that's where all of this is coming from, I think.
Yeah, so I get it what they're saying, but I think we just have to wait and see. Because again, I don't think you could have picked a better artist to do a halftime show like Prince, and we know he's going to do something special, right? He's going to show and prove, but what it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be a surprise, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did bring some of that little Big Frida and all of them out there and do whatever. But hey, it's going to be up to him.
I really think he is, because, and like you say, Drake is tied with Young Money, but what is his relationship? Like, do it for the culture. I get it, but Lil Wayne, come on now. I mean, he is one of the top hip hop artists of, can I say, all time? I mean, he Tucci, baby. I mean, he's great. So, and it would be nice to see Master P. I don't know, but how Nicki and who else been talking noise on social media, they messing things up. So just be quiet, just relax. I don't think Master P has said anything. Cedric, how might Kendrick Lamar's performance influence future Super Bowl halftime shows?
Man, I don't know, man. I think he's gonna have to come out of first of all, let me say this. I don't think Lil Wayne is gonna do anything with him.
Because of Drake.
Yeah, because of Drake. Drake worth too much money to Lil Wayne. Like, it'll be crazy. That'll be like throwing away money. If that beef is still there, by that time. If I was Lil Wayne, I still listen to Kendrick and all that, but I wouldn't be out kicking it with him, knowing Drake is my artist and he's worth, $1 billion every time he opened his mouth. So, but saying that, say this, man, it's a lot of other Louisiana, New Orleans. We just talking about hip hop, but man, they could have went back and got jazz. It's plenty of people that they could bring in, and I'm sure Kendrick is gonna bring somebody in to do it. I just hate the fact that New Orleans is so different.
So different.
I just hate the fact that they didn't use this one time. I mean, we still working on the 50 years of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like they could have brought in what's some boy's name? Drag 'em by the river.
Partners in crime, yeah.
Partners in crime, man. They could have
okay,
brought the partners in crime out to pump the party. Stuff that
pump the party.
Stuff that most people, that wasn't around that time.
They do that since he's not really fooling with.
And I was gonna say, and that ain't out of bounds yet either. Because that's all part of that whole culture. And I know he knows that. So look, that bounce music, that New Orleans scene, but it's more than just hip hop too. That's
it's a ton. It's a ton that they can bring on, man. But as far as I expect him to be, it's not gonna be normal. The dude is not. He's not a normal dude.
I love him.
Yeah, so I expect it to be some theatrical. It's not going to be a hip hop performance, put it like that. Now, one thing I can say, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I love Lil Wayne. I listen to him. I can't stand Lil Wayne concerts. Like listening to him, in concert. Yeah, I can't listen to him, man. I got to listen to him on radio, or on the, I got to buy his music and listen to it on. He's not his shows don't move me like a Kendrick show would. But
it's more he's, lack of a better word, woke. Even when he was in his Not Like Us, he still was educating you through the song. And it's totally different. I mean, this guy, him, J. Cole, I like the younger hip hop artists. Those two are my favorite because they're talking about something. It's not about drugs. It's not about money and jewelry. And I'm not saying all of them do, but quite a few of them do. They're talking bull crap. And I guess some of our people were talking bull crap in a day too, but not much. I not a lot. But I'm really looking forward to this. I think he will, like you said, he gotta bring some part of the New Orleans culture in. He can't just bring that West Side, West Cali, that he can't just do that and then think, okay, I mean, we'll enjoy it, but you gotta bring New Orleans, and Master P probably get up there because Master's been very quiet and he's just waiting. Master's a smart businessman, so he's biding his time, I think. Jameion, although Kendrick has performed with Dr. Dre, so he's been on the Super Bowl stage, he's going to be a headliner this time. What does Kendrick Lamar's involvement in the Super Bowl mean for his career?
So I don't think it's validation or anything. I think it's an opportunity for people to truly understand why he's a Pulitzer Prize winner and an artist, and how he's been able to merge a lot of that stuff. I don't know if it's going to be enough time for us to truly, really appreciate a lot of things that he does with his music, right? I personally have, look at, artists like, Wu-Tang Clan and all that stuff. If you really break down the music, even taking an artist like John Baptiste, Trombone Shorty and all that stuff, you got to know that a lot of that is still in the mix for him. So, for him being at the Super Bowl right now, it'll be some level, I think, of exposure for us being able to understand how he's going to merge all of that. But, it's almost not going to be enough time for us to truly appreciate what he brings to the table. So,
yeah. and he's really invalidatable. Like you can't, like, once you think you got him, he going to something else, and
totally
that man,
different.
that man might have put out a trap gospel album next. And,
Look, with a second line band. With a second line band.
I love gospel rap. So, but now I understand he doesn't need the validation, but the Super Bowl stage is the biggest stage in the world.
Yeah.
And even though Usher did not need the validation, it's different for him now. People see him differently because a lot of people, so I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. A lot of people don't know who Kendrick is. And when he's on this stage, this is going to be just, I don't know. This is going to be totally different for him, I think.
I think it's different, though, because in real life, Kendrick is not a superstar. Like, Usher's a superstar. You know what I mean? Usher was big when he got on the stage. He was bigger when he got off the stage.
Yep.
Kendrick going to come on big, and he might be bigger in the eyes of some people, but I see him getting in the Prius and going back to back to his regular life. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like, he doing this for us. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, I'm gonna go do that show for y'all, but for me, I'm good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. You know, I'm a music girl and I'm a hip hop baby, so I'm excited to see what he does and who he brings on the show with him. That's gonna be interesting. So I know we said, you know, I told you we was gonna talk about this, but I didn't really. What are y'all thoughts on Tom Brady and Jason Kelce in their debut as analysts, NFL analysts?
Look at here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here right now. Fox got it wrong. Look, Jason Kelce needs to be the elite NFL analyst, if anything, right? Because besides just the raw, unfiltered, look crazy nature of him, if you listen to Jason Kelce and his analysis of what he's doing, man, I feel like I am a sinner in his eyes, and I am seeing the game through him. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to him. I can tell you I missed half of what Tom Brady was saying because I felt like I was talking to Tom Brady, and I think everybody wanted that, but being honest, Tom Brady kind of a dick. I'm sorry. Tom Brady is really a dry personality, right? I mean, you know, he's a cool dude, but he's kind of a dry personality. So look, I love Jason because Jason is still feeling it, man. He is like all in.
He left his suit. He had on he got a shirt from Walmart.
Yeah.
And Travis was like, I'm shocked. I thought he would go shirtless. So it's just, you know, that's his personality. I mean, I agree with you. I love him. I enjoy seeing him.
But even though he forgot his suit, how much did you really miss in the fact that what he was saying? I mean, he was spot on with his commentary. His timing was there. It was like he'd been doing it for years, man. I really enjoyed him at the halftime.
Do you think that his podcast played a part in that? Him and his podcast with his brother, you know, because they talk. You know, do you think that made a difference for him where he was more comfortable being an analyst, or just natural? Period.
No, I don't think so, because I don't think we saw podcast Jason at the halftime. I think what we saw. Look. I can tell you, I felt like I was sitting behind him in a meeting room, having a discussion, watching film.
That's what I was about to say. You saw Coach Jason.
I saw a coach, So as I'm listening to him, I'm sitting up there looking like, you know, I get you. I'm following you, man. That's what I'm saying. It was a different dude that we saw there.
Man, what most people don't know in football, man, the centers are normally the smartest people on the field.
The guy.
Yeah. And he's looking at the play. He's just not in his stands right now, but he's been diagnosing plays every snap.
Yes.
You know, and relaying it to the rest of his linemen and his quarterback. Mm-hmm. So he just gave you a glimpse of what he was doing every day, but now he's standing up and he's looking down on the field and he's saying, like, oh, I think it was new to him to see it like that. And it was good, man. I enjoyed it, man. Tom Brady is a robot. Put it like, you can be Jason. You can't be Tom.
Right.
Like, it's probably a billion Jasons out there, bad bodied, you know what I mean? Just smart, can snap the ball, you know what I mean? Love the game, love life. Tom Brady is everything about him is calculated down to the amount of avocado we put on his toast. You know what I mean? So, and that's kind of like how Washington. Now, I mean, I enjoyed Tom. I enjoy seeing him, but I would love to see Jason and Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get this shirt made. What did you say? Don't be Jason. No, what did you say? Everybody's Jason. Tom, be Jason.
Yeah. Everybody can't be Tom.
Everybody can't be Tom.
Yeah, everybody can't be Tom, but
be Jason.
Yeah, anybody can be Jason.
I'm gonna get a shirt with that on.
Hey man, he's loving life, man. He's it was good to see, man. And I hate that he retired. Like I'm an offensive lineman at heart. I just didn't grow enough. Yeah, I just didn't grow enough. But I enjoyed it. And I think Tom is gonna get better by being with Jason though. Yeah, because
Tom was good. He was good.
Tom was
he was good for the booth. Yeah, he was good for the booth, and I think that was probably more of his repertoire in doing that. He was comfortable. He didn't seem nervous. He didn't seem like a duck out of water. So,
got the blue steel look on his face the whole game.
Yeah. But I can tell you, look, at a certain point, it turned into Charlie Brown for me, though. I was just like, yeah.
I think it'll start, getting better for him, and he'll loosen up a little bit. But you're right, he is very robotic. It's like, I have to do this, I have to do this, it has to go this way. Yeah, I feel you. Well, guys, it is always a pleasure talking with you. However, we have a game we play, and it's called What You Know. And I'll ask you a few football trivia questions. And it's no this or that. Oh, that's right. Cedric hadn't played this, has he?
Yeah, no, he wasn't here for the last time we played this.
Yeah, it was just Jameion. Yeah, I don't do the this or that anymore. These are actual trivia football questions. So let's get to it. Who holds the record for the most career touchdown passes?
Touchdown passes?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Y'all just said his name 100 times.
Peyton Manning.
TB.
I want to say Tom Brady.
TB.
Tom Brady.
TB got the yard. TB got the TD touchdowns, but then Peyton got the yards, right?
I don't know. I just always
he has both. He has both. Okay.
I just choose Peyton all the time because he in our class.
What about?
Oh, in my class. Jameion a year younger than
me. Yeah.
And then you don't like to say Tom Brady way. Who was the first player to rush for over 2,000 yards in a single NFL season? The first to rush for over 2,000 yards.
OJ.
Barry Sanders.
Was it Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Eric Dickerson?
Yep.
He was the first, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking it was OJ, but yeah, okay.
I would have thought it was OJ too, but it was him. Now this one I didn't know this one. What notable event took place during the Immaculate Reception game?
Say what noble event?
What notable event took place during the Immaculate Reception?
The Immaculate Reception, that was with
that's with Franco Harris.
Yeah, Franco Harris scooped it up off the ground.
Yeah. Wasn't it the end of a war?
Franco Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers caught a deflected pass and ran it into the end zone for a touchdown. Y'all really noticed. So
What year was that? That was in the 70s?
Oh, they didn't say. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it has to be in the 70s.
Or 80s, because I watched Franco. I remember Franco. I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. Who holds the record for the most sacks in a single NFL season?
It's Strahan. No, somebody broke it from Strahan.
No, you're right. That was not Boone.
The Strahan?
It's Strahan? It is Strahan still? Okay. All right. What was it, 22? 22 and a half?
I don't know. They didn't put that on there, sir.
I just remember old boy, they was on Strahan because old boy gave him, they said he gave him that last sack against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's what it was.
He wasn't get away. He earned
What year was it? What game was it? I don't know. I just Googled it. I'm telling you, I'm reading what you said. I ain't got all that. Which Super Bowl is known as the Harbaugh Bowl, where two brothers were head coaches against each other?
The number?
That was New Orleans.
Yeah, that was the 49ers and the Ravens, but
51?
huh?
Was it 51?
47.
47. Okay.
I have no idea. I don't even know what Super Bowl this year is.
59.
Yeah.
What'll be 59 in February?
Yeah.
Which NFL stadium is known for having a strip club built in the stadium's design?
There's several of them, but current?
Hold on, you said it got a strip club built in the stadium design?
Yeah. He should know this.
Who should know it?
You.
What, I've been there?
New York?
Dallas Cowboys. A&T Stadium.
Oh, does? Oh, I hadn't been to the new one. Oh, wow.
I've been there, but I haven't gone to the strip club.
You saying the strip club built into the stadium or built?
Into the design, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a tequila bar that I was up in there in, but that's why I don't remember nothing else.
You're so silly. Which NFL team was originally called the Decatur Staleys? I think we should know this one too.
The Decatur Steelers?
The Decatur Staleys.
The Falcons. The Chicago Bears.
Really?
Bears.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, what is that and why? I'm gonna have to Google it. Which NFL player famously guaranteed a Super Bowl victory and delivered on that promise?
Oh, Joe Namath. Joe Namath. Hollywood.
Yeah.
Which wide receiver holds the record for the most career receptions?
Jerry Rice.
You're right.
Last one. What is the only NFL team to have never appeared in the Super Bowl?
Appeared?
Has never appeared. Excuse me.
Detroit.
That's, I was thinking that too, but
Yeah, Detroit.
they're the only one in the
the Browns. No, not the Browns.
The Browns have been there.
It is Cleveland Browns.
They haven't appeared?
Has never appeared.
I thought the Browns was good back in the day. Maybe it won the Super Bowl when it was winning.
Yeah, what was it called back then?
Well, I remember they were Cleveland Browns, and I could have swore they went to one with Jim Brown and those guys. They didn't win, but hold on. Yeah, that's right. All right. Huh.
Has the Cleveland Browns ever gone to the Super Bowl?
They never let you around.
They are one of the 4 teams to have never appeared in the Super Bowl.
So there are 4.
Houston, Jacksonville, and Cleveland.
What was the first one?
Detroit, which we said earlier.
Yeah.
Detroit, they're the only one in the North that has never gone. Detroit, Houston, Cleveland, and Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Detroit should have went. Detroit
Houston, I
should have
gotta
went
think
last
of-
year.
Yeah,
and then they almost jacked up the game the other day and had to go into overtime. I'm like, you could have did that. I don't know. I'm kind of cheering for them in a little bit, even though I'm a Bears fan. But I'm like, come on, y'all, get it together. I really like their coach. He's funny to me. But guys, that's the show for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next month. And you can follow me on She Say Sports on Facebook, She Say Sports 23 on Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, until next time, this is Sonia, Jameion, and Sid. She Say, really?
No refunds.
She Say Sports. Go Tigers. Not
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.